Today, when we hear of terrorist attacks, we think of attacks made in the United States, Iraq, Syria, and France. Rarely might we think of Argentina as a terrorist target. However, one instance begs to differ. Around 10 a.m. on July 18, 1994, a van full of explosives sent by Hezbollah crashed into the Asociación Mutual Israelita Argentina, commonly referred to by its acronym, AMIA. The death count totaled 85, and there were over 300 injured people. 2 years before, the Islamic Jihad organization attacked the Israeli embassy in Argentina. I recently traveled to Buenos Aires and spoke with Gustavo Friedman, an Orthodox Jew who was just across the street in his home when the attack happened. He first told me what life was like before the bombing took place.
La vida de los judíos en Argentina.
The life of the Jews in Argentina was always peaceful, and nobody anticipated an attack. I think that the government was complicit with what happened. And after the attack on the AMIA, life changed a lot. There was more security present at Jewish organizations. They questioned everyone going in and out, and people became accustomed to that way of life.
Then, Gustavo told me what happened on the infamous day of July 18, 1994, in the neighborhood of Once.
The attack happened on that day. I personally experienced it since I lived in front of the AMIA. When the attack took place, I lived in the back part of the building, not in the front. Everything started to fly. At first, I didn't think it was an attack. I thought a water heater broke. But I started to hear the screams of people whose limbs were blown off. I was running to the emergency exit through the door of my apartment that no longer existed, and I saw the front part of the building wasn't there. Everything in front of the AMIA was just a pile of rubble.
Given the great destruction caused by the van bomb, his home was a safe distance from the AMIA.
In my house, I lived in apartment 1B, in the back of the apartment building, not the front. All of the glass shattered, and I saw 2 doors fly back. I started to see an overwhelming curtain of smoke. Since I am Orthodox, I thought that I was being taken to the next world, and I recited Shema Yisrael, testifying that there is only one God. And then I realized nothing too bad happened inside my house, but rather the damage was on the outside.
Although, luckily, Gustavo's home wasn't completely destroyed, the homes and lives of many of his neighbors and friends were. Now, they only survive in his memory.
I knew some. The porter, a neighbor on the 8th floor, that I saw after the attack. 2 boys from 3A whose faces I don't remember, but I remember seeing them dead. Also, a friend of mine, a father of 3 girls, went to the AMIA to pay for his father's funeral, and he ended up also being buried after the explosion.
He also brought up an interesting and mysterious aspect of the bombing that had to do with the police.
No response. That came afterwards. The police who were supposed to be protecting at that moment weren't there.
Even years after the bombing took place, Gustavo is still unsure about his own safety in Argentina.
No, ni más ni menos.
No, no more, no less. No more, no less. If anyone wanted to attack again, they could do it easily. There is neither more nor less security.
The AMIA bombing has brought a lot of speculation upon the judicial capabilities of Argentinian government and has only proved negative results, as no one has been charged with the murder of 85 innocent Argentinians. One questionable piece of the ongoing investigation was the recent death of the lead AMIA prosecutor, Alberto Nisman. Just before going to the Argentinian Congress to deliver his findings, Nisman was found dead, which is also still under investigation. With the questionable absence of the police and Nisman's untimely death, there are unanswered questions that lead to theories about the Argentinian government's involvement with terrorists. Until the truth about the attack has surfaced, the AMIA will serve as a reminder of the destruction terrorism can cause and the failure of justice.